Hey everyone! Snacks! We got fruit nut packets, Cadbury, granola bars, cookies, and tuna. Tuna? No, nobody's gonna want the tuna, dude. What do you mean they're not gonna want the tuna? The tuna's fine. Because it's undesirable. Nobody goes to snacks and says, ooh, the tuna! I don't care if it's not really that desirable. You know what? Here. Watch this. Man, that tuna is flying. You guys really should get in on this before it goes away. Wait, are you gonna point out that you hid the actual stuff, like the rest of it? I don't care. The internet's a big place. They can go find out about that stuff. If they want the tuna, that is not my problem. 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. 10 minutes. All right, let's have a conversation about these quote buyouts that are happening, and we'll put them in quotes because some people don't want to leverage that term, and some people don't comprehend the idea that there's a difference between a compound word and a word being split into two and meaning something different, but we're just going to be okay with that. So anyway, buyouts. So, what am I doing and why am I doing it? I want to show off a little bit of my work here because I've been a little bit spicy, and by little I mean I've been really spicy on both Facebook as well as Twitter, of people who are kind of gloating about the state of the market right now. People who are kind of like, look at what we did and I hate this crap. And they leave out context, and I've already been called out for like, you need to chill, bro. But also those same people are ones who are pointing out something and saying like, by the way, we're just going to hide the rest of the information. In market terms, we're talking about two things, and I get that these are stock market terms, but the collective group of actions lead to these concepts. The first one is called ramping the market, and the second one is called ramp proofing, which is basically where you validate the ramping by just presenting things without key information that can help. I'm going to show you examples of all of these things and why I have a problem with it, because I have an issue. I'm professor style of like accessibility from cards, and the same people who are talking about Art of Wars and CNCs and all these things should be accessible to players are the same ones who have no problem saying, look at what we did to Shiver. Fucking stop. So I don't like that this is a confusing thing, and if you're in the know and you understand the rules, then it's fine. The problem is you don't get the rules at the front of this. You just get tweets, you get marketing posts, you get headlines, you get thumbnails that don't exactly make it really clear that maybe there's more to this conversation. Maybe there's more rules to this game that they're asking you to play, and that's a problem for me. And I'm going to show you how and why it does damage. First thing out of the gate, though, this is not me saying that this is an individual effort or even a group effort by specific, by specific ones. Even though I am going to be focusing a lot of it, let's face it, on Stackswell's videos specifically. Stackswell, if you're watching, this isn't me putting you on blast, but I am asking you to be a little bit maybe better with kind of how you open the floodgates here and start the conversation. And please stop gloating. I'm begging you. And I'm going to show you why that's an issue. But the other reason that I'm kind of pointing to Stackswell on this one a little bit is because this happened. Just listen for a sec. Just listen.
Things like Final Trade, focusing on the sealed product. Stackswell, man.
Shout out Stackswell.
Shout out Stackswell. You guys need to start watching more Stackswell. The guy is on the pulse. Yeah. He is on the pulse. Start making those pickups.
He's like he's the goblin of FAB, just sitting in his basement on TCG Player Go.
Don't do this. Don't do that. If you are the creator of a game, do not go to a secondary market EV guy and say he's got his finger on the pulse. That's like Mark Zuckerberg going to Jim Cramer and saying, you guys really need to be watching Mad Money. Or if you want it in TCG space, that's MetaZoo going to Argos and saying, go pump this thing and we're going to make it seem like just, it's a bad relationship. And when you create credibility like that, people are going to listen. So let's talk about how they listened. and the issues that I have with it. Let's jump over to 3.8. This video is a sweetheart. These cards are too cheap. This launched a couple of key examples. And again, I am not saying this is intentional. I am not saying this is targeted. What I am saying, or I'm not saying that this is like a collective group to try to do these things and that it's designed to be shady. What I am saying, though, is the collective group of actions are creating confusion from people who do not know better, and it's starting to actually reflect in sales and people spending more than they need to be. Bolton promo, Dusk Till Dawn comes out, or at least the note of it comes out. It makes perfect sense that there's a little bit of a run on the Warrior stuff, and that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. Let's listen in. Let's follow a story. Here we go.
Maybe by the time the Monarch set comes out, there's going to be more hype for Bolton, and there's going to be more players, more demand, not as much supply. I could see this card going kind of crazy one day. I personally picked up
I can see this card kind of going crazy one day. That is 3.8. That is 5 days ago, March 8th. Let's jump over to TCG Player and look at what happens. This is the current... This is where TCG Player stands. And I'm going to put this in underline and quote and bold this. If you take anything away from this, take this piece away. $23.98 is not the cost of this card. $23.98 is the lowest value, or is the lowest listing that is available to buy. That's where I have the issues. We don't tell you that aspect of things, so it gets really confusing. $23.98 all of a sudden in the course of a couple of days. Let's quickly look over at the sales history. That 3.8 video, 3.8, and yeah, 3.7, 3.6, it made sense. You didn't see too many stuff before 3.7. You know, there's a decent amount, 3.7, $4, $5. Then 3.8, this little video, boom, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's a solid number. That's a vet. You know, when you look at everything else, there's not a lot. Snipper, you know, a little bit here and there. That's an issue. $8, $9, $26, $24. I feel bad for these two. I feel bad for these two individuals who bought it at $26, $24 because they probably didn't quite know the rules. That maybe people are buying this to like hold it for later, or I don't even know what the reason was. Whatever it is, we've suddenly got a bunch of listings that are $23, $24, and we got people who are actually buying it. This poor guy on TCG Player, or not TCG, but Facebook, went and made a whole post on it. Want to sell, want to trade a whole bunch of Boltons, $18 each. This is an edited post, by the way, and I got a little spicy on this one, and I apologize, Donovan, to an extent. Because it's not like I put him on blast. I just put the concept of this is why I hate stonks videos. This started at 25, dropped to 20, dropped to 18. This thing cannot sell right now. It cannot sell. It is not a $24 card, but people were suggested that that was a thing. That was a thing. Why? Well, because of the gloating that happens. This is the tweet that happened this morning regarding Arcanite Skullcap, $92. Didn't expect that pump was gonna not the pump that I was expecting. Definitely not a pump that I was expecting. You know what? It's not a pump. Let's look at Arcanite Skullcap. Let's jump over to it. Yeah, it's $92.66, but once again, this is not the cost of the card. Let's look at the sales history. $90.97. I feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for him. I even feel a little bad for these four down here, but look at the actual trend. 63, 62, 64, 63, 63, 63, 50, 50, 60, like, $92 is not the price of this card, but if you go and you gloat about it, $92, somebody who doesn't know better looks at this and says, wow, a lot of people, you know, this is something that's getting pumped. It's $92. I need to buy it now. No, you don't. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Guy, want to sell all 10 to 15% under TCG Player Low. Arcanite Skullcap, $102. I don't know when that happened, but whatever. Somebody might not know better though. That's not the value of the card. That's not what is notorious, at least for a TCG player, has been showing. That's not the value. This stuff sucks. Shiver.
Okay, not that old, but pretty old. It's $17 right now, which is a little bit higher than what it was, you know, just a week ago. But that's because people are starting to catch on, but they're not fully caught on yet. Still under wraps.
Nope. That's not a thing. This thing that bugs me. One, to say it's a little lower, it's $7. It is creeping, but it was $7. It's 17 now. That's not a little. That's a pretty big jump. Let's take a look at Shiver now, though. Just real quick. $42. This is based off of nothing, by the way. This is based off of zero things. There's no meta change. Nothing has changed. The company hasn't done anything differently. This is purely off of the speculation. Somebody who doesn't know better. March 4th, night 6, this was $8. Let's view the sales history. $8, $8, $8. 16, 30, 30, 50, $5. I feel bad for these two individuals. Now, here's the thing, is I have to at least appreciate that only 4 sales of those cold foils really came from that. So this might not be a Stackswell thing, but at the same time, if you're coming in and saying it's like, maybe people just don't know, and then you're somebody who is backed by the creator of the game, you create a confusing situation, don't you? I've got 90 seconds left. Brave Forge Bracers at $76.30. I feel bad for the guy who bought it at $144.99 because that's all that's left. Let's look at the sales history. A whole lot of people bought the thing out. 100 max, cool. 74, 80, 85, 70. This is the price of the card. This is where it's at. Somebody even was kind enough to go on and try yesterday to sell it for 120, now 100, now 90. These are problems. If people don't know that you're fooling, if not fooling them, if people don't know that what you're gloating and excited about is not an accurate reflection of how buying practices work, or how like the actual buying behavior was, it leads to confusion. It leads to the poor guy who spends way the hell more than he needs to. It leads to $90 when everything else is $63. And I would like to simply say is like, again, maybe it is just people who are, maybe it's just a natural occurrence. I would have expected some of this during like spoiler season. I would have expected these sales to be way the hell back when, but instead, no, we get things like this. Community, again, sorry Stackswell, but you're kind of the example creator here. Almost every card we talked about yesterday got bought up and pumped hard. Already an issue. That's ramping the market. Most are no longer good pickups. I have to know that this statement is here to not see a skull cap get sold like crazy and be like, oh, this is a $93 card. That's a problem. I need to not see something like this that just simply hides the fact that, you know what, we're out. I'm adding 2 minutes. 2 minutes. These are my rules. I make them up. We're hiding the fact that there's a whole batch of conversation. There's a whole bunch of sales history that does not show that this is the price of the card, but instead it's a pump that I was expecting. No, that's not what it is. That's ramp proofing. That is hiding publicly available information that is not pointing people to what an accurate reflection of the buying behavior is, and this is the stuff that drives me nuts. Rainbow Foil Time Snap Potion has gone up 500% since I mentioned it 18 hours ago in my video. Very important you turn on notifications so you don't miss the rocket ship next time. What is this speculation based on other than this video? Nothing. Why is this a good thing? You do not get to come after people who are like aggressively coming out, saying like this stuff is rough. It's just stop asking for people to spend more than they want. And then you come right around and you have stuff that says, hey guys, we did it. We bought that thing up so that TCG player low is 500% lower what we had last time. The guys who aren't paying attention and all they see is just this gloating from people on Facebook of this must be the value now. They're going to spend more than they need to. And that part sucks. Brave Forge Bracers is a heartbreaker at the guy who spent $150 and it's immediately half price back down to where it was before. And it makes it, that stuff sucks. That sucks. Mask of Momentum goes to $170, down from 109. Yeah, you could argue that, sure. Again, this is just like a natural flow of people recognizing these are cards they're going to want. Maybe it is in fact heightened demand. But also like all in the same day, weeks after we learn that ninjas are in Outsiders. No. That sucks. That's not a natural flow that the salmon are all swimming upstream at the same cards in the same direction. And that's why I have a problem, because other people are getting screwed.